My father, Toby, said he didn't want an obituary. He thought that might tip off the IRS to his change in status. Nevertheless, when Toby died, an editor at the Cleveland Plain Dealer asked to write something. My mother said no. The writer persisted because years prior, Toby had gotten the editor a moonlighting job doing the in-house newsletter at the Key Company where my dad had worked. No, again, my mother said. Toby wound up in the Cleveland Jewish News. That was okay. Not too many IRS agents read that. It wouldn't have mattered. My dad lived his entire life under an alias, Stratton. He had gotten to Stratton out of a phone book. His birth name was Salzburg. How had he felt about that? Fine, he often told me. I had my doubts. His two brothers stayed Salzburgs, while Toby rode off to become Stratton of Judea. His only regret, which was momentary, he claimed, was when his then 22-year-old daughter dated a Shagets, a Gentile boy from Parma, who had no college degree. Back then, Toby said, if I hadn't changed my name, this wouldn't have happened. He picked Stratton in a waiting room, waiting for a job interview. He got the job and changed his name, 1941. Sounded like BS to me. I thought Toby might have been embarrassed or insecure about his Jewishness. A lot of Jews back then jumped ship to the USS Wasp. I've read half the Jews in America change their name. Commentary, August 1952, Name Changing and What It Gets You, J. Alvin Kugelmass. Some of the impetus was anti-Semitism and some was a desire to pass. I'm not blaming anybody, different times back then. When I was right out of college, I told my dad I was going to change my name to Salzburg. He went nuts. You're looking for trouble, don't do it. Decades later, I did a lecture on Mickey Katz at the International Association of Yiddish Clubs convention. I was wearing a Stratton name tag, and a very old man approached me asking, "You related to Toby Stratton?" He was my father. The man said, "I left town in 1941. It was right there in my apartment where he talked about changing his name. He had gotten turned down by 3 chemical engineering companies. He was one of the smartest guys I ever met. He changed his name and got a job right then." Solid info. For years, a Salzburg uncle had told me Toby had jumped ship because my mother had wanted to pass. I liked the right in my apartment story better.